Hey everyone, Rachel Went here, Executive Director for the Kentucky Association of Chiropractors. Today I wanted to bring you a quick update, legislative recap from our 2025 session. So for those that don't know, this session we had over 1,000 bills that were introduced into the Kentucky legislative session, with I think 200 being filed that first week. So it was a crazy short session that lasted 30 days this year, and definitely whirlwind. We officially concluded March 28th, last Friday. I believe that was Friday, March 28th. And it's interesting in Kentucky that veto bills stand unless the legislature reconvenes to override them, meaning the General Assembly can override a governor's veto through a majority vote. So the last 2 days of session, the 27th, 28th, are traditionally reserved to look at bills that were vetoed. But anyways, I digress. Let's recap. We'll dive right in. Some of the bills we were monitoring this session included House Bill 416. That was the PIP bill that was implementing the workers' comp fee schedule for PIP cases. This bill, we reached out to you, and many of you reached out to your senators and House of Representatives to ask them for a no vote. And so this bill passed in the House, but ultimately failed in the Senate. And so that bill did not get signed into law. So thank you to everyone who did reach out to their representatives and senators. It was definitely, I learned a lot this session, being able to get some grassroots efforts going, and I appreciate you guys reaching out and helping us along with that bill. Another bill that we were monitoring was House Bill 423. It was a prior auth bill. Essentially, this was a way for healthcare providers to work with the insurers to create a prior auth system that works. This bill passed in the House but failed in the Senate. Next bill was House Bill 406, and this was a chronic pain bill proposed to cover 20 visits for alternative treatments like acupuncture, chiropractic, and physical therapy. This has been run at least the last couple of years that I've been here, and ultimately this bill failed in the House again. Next bill was Senate Bill 13. This is an MCO bill, basically limiting the number of MCOs allowed to number 3 instead of, right now there's no limit, but we have 6 right now. No, I'm just kidding. We have 5 right now. So this would limit it to 3. This passed in the Senate, but failed in the House. And again, that bill has been run, I think, every year since I've been here. Senate Bill 191 was a workers' compensation bill. This proposed defining a medical professional to include things like chiropractors, MDs, nurse practitioners, optometrists, and this would be for testimony purposes. This did not touch the definition of physician. It just added a definition of medical professionals, again, mainly for testimony purposes. This bill ultimately failed in the Senate. The last one I'm going to talk about, Senate Bill 69. So for those that remember, animal chiropractic is now allowed in Kentucky, and I'm going to do a whole separate video on how to become certified and what you need to do to practice animal chiropractic in the state of Kentucky. But this bill is related to the Allied Animal Health Professional, formerly permit. They changed the word permit to license. So it's now an Allied Animal Health Professional license. And this bill also added a use of title section. So only an animal chiropractor who is licensed under the AAHP and a chiropractor can use the term animal chiropractic. And it also added a new AAHP, equine dentists, to the list. So this bill was signed into law by both chambers and the governor. So again, be on the lookout for my video about how to become an animal chiropractor in Kentucky. So each of these bills represented, all of these bills really presented both opportunities and challenges for us. We remain very actively engaged in the Kentucky legislative session. Again, next year is going to be a big session. It starts January 6th, 2026, and it will be considered a long session. So there are breaks in there. It'll run January 6th, usually to sometime in end of April into May. I want to thank everyone who took a moment to reach out to their senators and House representatives for our House Bill 416. And I want to thank our members as well for staying informed, staying engaged, staying a member. If you are not a member, I encourage you to join today, be part of our movement. The more members we have, the more voice we have at the Capitol. And so visit thekac.org if you want to learn more and join today. I hope this was helpful, and we'll catch you next time.